Hey guys, John here, learningguitarnow.com, and in this lesson I want to show you how to play a ZZ Top style 12-bar blues played in the key of G. This solo covers all 5 minor pentatonic positions, so I think it's a great exercise to learn a solo something like this to where you're moving across the entire fretboard. To get the tone for this lesson, for the lead guitar, I used a 57 Tweed Twin reissue, pretty much cranked all the way up. For the rhythm guitar part, I used my 1966 Fender Vibrolux, and it was pretty much cranked up as well. For both parts, I used the bridge pickup on this Les Paul. We'll go ahead and take a look at the first few licks for free, and if you would like access to the full lesson, including the rhythm guitar lesson, as well as the interactive tab and backing track, check out the All Access Pass. Okay, let's go ahead and start the lesson. Okay, now I'm going to break this solo down for you into 9 separate licks. This is a 12-bar blues, and we're in the key of G. Lick 1 sounds like this. Okay, so that is lick number 1. This is kind of a classic blues riff that you hear off Freddie King, going down tune, and it's just a must-know riff for any blues guitar player to know. And we're simply just walking down the pentatonic scale from the 2nd position to the 1st position. It's also just a great beginning exercise to getting used to playing some kind of blues-sounding riffs. So I'm doing a rake. You don't have to do one. You could do one. You can just kind of improvise that kind of thing. But I'm raking from the 6th to the 8th fret on the B string, taking me from the 1st position pentatonic to the 2nd position. So you got. We're going to let that hold out for 4 beats. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to do it again. Just kind of hammer the 2nd time. Not really slide though. Just a fast hammer. I'm adding a rake too. Once again, you can put rakes into different positions. It's up to you. Hammer on 6 to 8 on the B string. And then now our C chord is actually going to happen now because this is a quick change 12-bar blues. That means the 1 chord G is going to happen for the 1st bar, and then we're going straight to C. That's quick change. So you got that. 6th fret on the B. Now slide backwards to the 5th fret on the G string, 3rd fret of the G, and then 5th fret, our root note right here on the D string, 5th fret here. Add some vibrato to that note, and then we're going to hit this little phrase, 3-5-3 on the G string, and that's a 8th note triplet. We have the beat going like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so triplets are just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That little lick, 8th note triplet, this Chuck Berry style move. So we have the last note. So 3-5-3 on the G. And now we're going to bend up 5th fret slightly on the G string. Bar your 1st finger on the high E and the B. 3rd fret here. Now slide backwards again to the 5th fret of the G string. 3rd fret on the G string. And you can kind of bend that 3rd fret just slightly. End on the 5th fret of the D string, our root note here. So just kind of a classic blues sounding riff. 2, 3, 4. You can also bend that 3rd fret slightly as well. And we're doing all these notes right here, right on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And that counting that way, 1, 2, 3. That's how you could count some of those pieces to get it the sound right in rhythm. Pretty basic little riff there. Sounds great. You hear Clapton using that. I said Freddie King using that. You can use it over any style of blues. So it's just a must-know riff. If you're you're improvising and don't really know what to do at the beginning of a solo, play that riff. It's really catching to your ear, and it'll grab the audience's attention, I believe, a cool riff like that. And if you're improvising, a lot of times maybe another guitar player might come in and improvise, harmonize with you, or maybe a keyboard player. So it's an excellent riff to know. Okay, so that is lick number 1. Okay, lick 2 sounds like this. Okay, lick number 2 is very similar to lick number 1. We're repeating that phrase just to grab the audience, listener, whatever you want to call it, to the solo. I like to do that kind of stuff. There's a repeat phrases here, just to give the solo more continuity. So I'm sliding into the 7th fret of the G string right before we get to the next bar. Then I'm just doing that phrase over again. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to do this riff a little quicker and change up some of the notes. So I had 1. So the count on that is pretty simple. We're doing a lot of 8th note triplets here. So I have 1. Now triplets. On this, that's your 2nd beat, 3rd beat, 4th beat. You can also accent the first note of those 8th note triplets just to make it stand out. Accenting means I'm just hitting it slightly harder. If you don't accent, sometimes it might kind of sound a little flat. You don't also always have to accent, but it does make certain notes stand out in 8th note triplets. Cool little move to do. That's when I'm accenting the first note of each 8th note triplet. Accent, 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 accent. Using accents like that just help things to pop out a little bit more. But just a great little exercise too if you want to get used to playing those type of 8th note triplets. So for the lick, I'm doing this. Just doing the chokeberry move. And then I'm bending 6th fret on the B string slightly. And then barring my first finger on the 3rd fret the whole time. Now bend 6. Bar your first finger. High E, B. That's just a must-know blues riff. You hear every single blues guitar player doing that kind of stuff. So if you can't do that really good, make an exercise out of it. Play it in all different keys, key of C. So it's just a great thing you have to know. After we do this for the lick, I'm sliding 6 to 8. Really simple. Slide 6 to 8 on the B, hit it twice, and then heavy vibrato. A lot of times you hear Billy Gibbons do this kind of stuff, and it's just really easy to play, but you just got to get the feel right, doing the accents like that, and also getting a very smooth vibrato that's relaxed and also fits the tempo of the speed of the track you're playing over. Okay, so that's it for lick 2. Okay, lick 3 sounds like this. Okay, so that is lick number 3. You're here, Billy Gibbons doing this kind of stuff all the time. And this is played over the 5 chord, the D chord, and right before the bar happens, that the D chord is being played over, I'm just hitting 6, 7, And then now we're going to do this phrase over the 5 chord, bending that 6th fret slightly on the B string. Realize that 7th fret on your G string is your D note, and so it sounds great. If we're thinking about this in terms of D, that is D, that's the minor third here, the major third. So it's that kind of a blues sound that you're always looking for. If we put this in D, first position minor pentatonic, may make a little bit more sense to you when the D chord happens. I'm just playing that minor third, major third to the root, but thinking about it over the D chord. Pretty simple concept, but it sounds great because it sounds like you're playing to the chord. Also, you want to learn that minor third, major third all over the place. That's eventually what you want to get to. So anyway, you got this part happening. And then this classic Billy Gibbons move here where you slide into the 7th fret of the G string and then let those things ring out. My first finger is on the 6th fret. I'm just striking the G string, 7th fret, and then first finger on the 6th fret of the B string twice. Then repeat it. And then next time I'm gonna hit 6th fret 3 times. Slowly we got. Now I'm gonna slide backwards to the 5th fret of the G string, 3rd fret of the G string, and then hit the root 5th fret of the D string twice. It's just a quintessential lick to know of any blues player. You should be able to do that in your sleep. In all different keys, in the key of A, C. That time I was playing in C. I use different fingers, so you could also use a different hand positioning if you're sliding back faster. So you can experiment with both. It's a little bit easier to slide if you're using your 3rd and 2nd fingers. Notice I also bent that first finger when I'm sliding back. I'll move back to the key of G, the key we're in. You can just bend that. Once again, that's the minor third, major third. You can always do that almost any kind of a lick of this dominant 7th style blues. Sounds kind of like Clapton. You hear Clapton doing that stuff a lot. It's just a classic Cream, you know, that era Clapton move you hear all the time. Another thing that you can experiment with lick 3 is using your finger, which I think Billy Gibbons does as well, to pop the B string. Just doing that gives it a little bit different sound. Instead of going, use your finger, 2nd finger, to pop that B string. And let them ring out as well. So if you can't do it, just make an exercise out of it, like I always say. So really cool move to learn right there. Okay, so that is lick number 3. Okay, well that does it for this lesson. Like I mentioned previously, if you would like access to the full lesson, the rhythm guitar lesson, the interactive tab, and backing track, check out the All Access Pass. You'll also gain access to all the courses on the site. It's over 160 hours worth of training material that show you how to play blues and slide guitar. Okay, see you next time.